So you have the same investment as someone you know. It performed well for that person, but for you, well, it's not all that you expected. Why did it work for him, but not as well for you? JN Fund Managers is on Nationwide 90 FM. You're listening to Retirement Matters. Thanks for joining us.
Relationships that build wealth, create opportunities, the right solutions. That's what we do at JN Fund Managers.
We're in pursuit of your financial security.
Portfolio and investment management services for individuals and corporate clients, from wealth building and risk management to preparing for a comfortable retirement. Strong, stable, secure.
We're in pursuit of your success.
Let's talk. JN Fund Managers, your safer, smarter financial partner.
Good morning, Roseanne East. Last week, we reviewed some frequently asked questions. One question highlighted the issue of having an investment which appeared to satisfy one person's needs very well, but the same investment didn't work as well for another. Why is this possible? You remember, we spoke of an investor who had duplicated his dad's portfolio and had expected the same results.
Good morning, Annette, and good morning, listeners. We responded very briefly by explaining that each person's retirement plan had to represent his own particular circumstances. The retirement portfolio that was good for his dad was hardly likely to be as good for him. I want to expand on that response. You'll recall that over the past few weeks, we have been speaking about life cycles and retirement strategies for each cycle. We made the point that even within these life cycles, each investor had different circumstances and therefore needed his own individual plan.
Yes, Roseanne. We've been looking at life cycles and asset allocation. You made the point that even if the same assets formed part of a different financial plan, it was likely that for the best fit, they should be purchased in different proportions. Would I be right to say that a financial advisor would be helpful in identifying the best suited assets and the proportions of each that would be best for the investor?
That's it. We discourage persons from random purchases of investments, even if they are popular investments. And this is true for all our financial planning, including retirement. You'll recall that the investor was advised to step back, to review his own needs, and then to invest in products suited to his needs, his goals, his risk appetite, and his time horizons. Additionally, his dad's financial environment years ago naturally would have been very different from his today.
My question is, if they were good investments, wouldn't the assets he acquired still earn him income?
It is possible that they would. They are, after all, good investments. However, there's a difference, most times a big one, between your assets earning you some money and you positioning yourself at your best advantage. Between making your money do some work and making your money work very well. There's often quite a difference in dollars. I would suggest that our friend reviews all his planning goals at the same time. Each goal has an impact on the other, whether positively or negatively. What are his cash flow plans? Short term, medium term, and long term? He needs to construct a holistic financial plan. This program is about retirement planning. So I must advise that if your financial plan isn't what it should be, then chances are your financial plans for retirement aren't either.
So what you're saying, Roseanne, how much he needs to pay for his mortgage, his children's college tuition, and that trip to New York will affect the funds he has available to put towards his retirement plan. You're saying that a cash flow forecast, or a financial map, as it were, would need to be considered as he plans for retirement. His plans need to be proactive rather than reactive. He shouldn't look at his goals as they come up and then try to find an individual solution.
That's correct. His retirement plan cannot stand alone, independent and unrelated to his other commitments. So having a financial plan or a retirement plan identical to his father's cannot be the best decision for him. Both men could not have the same exact circumstances. Something leaps out at me though, Annette. It would seem that when our friend was acquiring his assets, he did so without professional consultations. Too often when we conduct retirement planning sessions, the client cannot tell you the basis on which he selected a particular asset. Sometimes the amount he purchased was only based on the amount of money he had at the time, not on the amount of risk he wanted for his portfolio, not on the maturity dates, not on his goals, and so on. There isn't the idea of a portfolio or a strategy.
So it's good that they recognize the importance of investing. That's definitely a positive and a start, I think. But your point is that their financial strength would be increased. The outcome of their portfolio would be greater if they had acquired those assets suited to their goals and the circumstances and in the amounts that suit their desired outcome.
Essentially, that's the point I'm making. Financial advisors, like those at JN Fund Managers, know what options are available, old and new. They can do a detailed analysis of your needs and will recommend immediate solutions and solutions for medium and long-term goals. Therefore, your funds for retirement have a much better chance of providing you with the income when you need it most. That is, when you stop working. Collecting investments without knowing whether or not you are on course to achieve your objectives is one way to go, but I don't recommend it.
Mr. Llewellyn Bailey, a guest on this program, agreed with you, Roseanne. Mr. Bailey worked in the financial industry for many years. While a guest on this program, he advocated the virtues of persons taking the time to understand their options for retirement planning. He also encouraged HR practitioners to assist their team members with preparing themselves for their financial future. Let's listen to Mr. Bailey.
One of the most important things that we should do, and HR managers, pension fund managers should pay attention to this. I think people in employment should start being exposed to, seminars or lectures on retirement, preparing for retirement, from at least 20 years before they retire. Not 10 years or 5 years, which is the practice, yes. Because if you haven't done any of the things I'm talking about, it's a bit late.
Yes.
Mark, it's better you start doing something at any time, even 2 years. But to my mind, to start telling people how to prepare for retirement just 10 years before retirement, 5 years, horrors. I mean, that's hopelessly inadequate. Yes. You need to start from people, if they haven't started already, from people who are in their 30s. In the late 40s, is getting late.
Yes, the quality of life you'll enjoy during your retirement is built many years before.
Certainly, you must know what you're heading into.
It's always good to hear from Mr. Llewellyn Bailey.
It is. And thanks to you too, Roseanne, for providing professional advice. Here's what I learned. I learned that it's not just about acquiring popular assets. It's about aligning them as well. It's selecting the right ones for you, in the right amounts, and for the right periods. It's also about positioning your plan where it works best for you. There's good, better, and best. And of course, we want the best retirement plan. Finally, I learned that I need to bear in mind what's happening in my financial environment. Economies change, markets change. When that happens, I need to review my retirement plan, preferably with my financial advisor. We've come to the end of the program for another week. Thanks again, Roseanne. Please contact us by sending a text message to 504-1719 or by emailing us at jnfundmanagers@jnbs.com. This program will be available on JNFM's Facebook page later today. Retirement is a journey, not a destination. Enjoy the journey and take care of yourself and others. Bye-bye.